What's different? Yep. What's different right now about Devin than what you saw from him in the spring?
He's been here. He's had a chance to go through the off-season program, go through spring ball, had a chance to understand the defense, and physically is maturing a little bit and getting adjusted to college life. So he's taken a big step forward in that aspect.
Tim, Tremaine is the worst start for times though, but he doesn't carry himself that way. How do you kind of describe the way he played and the way he doesn't?
Oh, well, he played a lot. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys that, he rotated in a lot last year. So, I always considered Jermaine a starter. Because he's been in, if you're watching the playoff, he played meaningful snaps. You know what I mean? So he has a lot of experience. He has great confidence. He carries himself as a starter, for the past couple of years. So that's how we see him. He's got a lot of experience, has a lot of confidence, very savvy, high football IQ, position flex, so he has all those things that you look for in a corner.
Where do you see Davis' progress with the penalties and situations?
Yeah, he's been doing a great job of getting his head around at the top of the route, making sure, he's not as handsy at the top. So he's worked on it. It's been an emphasis, and he's done a great job of it this offseason. He's continuing to grow in his leadership and studying. And you go back and watch the tape, watch practice. We study it real hard at the top to make sure we're clean because he has the length, he has the size, he has the skill set to be able to be really good at the top of the route against big wideouts.
Do you find him that maybe officials might be giving him more scrutiny? I mean, because of the past. I mean, you've kind of seen that sometimes through the years and stuff. But, he does draw attention, right? I mean, from the officials because of his past.
Yeah, but that'll be all you got to do is go play and do it, and then we can't worry about the calls if we're doing it the right way. His whole deal is control what you can control. You go try to do it the right way. You go make sure you're clean and let the rest take care of itself.
Ryan said Jermaine has developed into a leader kind of unexpectedly for this team. When did you see that click for him to be able to, kind of take that leadership role more seriously?
It really started showing up in training camp. He took a little step with it in the spring, but training camp he really started showing because we need it. This is an important year for him. We got to bring the young guys along. I saw it, and the way he operates, the way he moves around the building, the communication he does with me, all those things, it's starting to show. It's all about action here. We don't really get into the lip service part of it. You got to show it. He showed it. He's putting it on tape. He's putting it on in the building, how you operate and everything. So I'm very proud and pleased of his growth in that area, and we'll need that throughout the season.
Well, they asked you to talk in the mic.
Have you seen what you need to see from Lorenzo at that nickel position?
Yes, he's been doing well. He's competing. He's learning. He's growing. He's smart. He processes the game well. He's a hard worker. He's a student of the game. He puts the time in. He puts in the extra hours. So his work ethic and his commitment to getting it right has been evident. He's had an outstanding training camp. And he'll only get better. He's working at it, so that's the first thing we ask of it, and he's putting the time in and the work to try to get it done and learn it in detail.
Tim, you guys played a lot of off coverage last year, and maybe there was a time here where Ohio State played strictly press man coverage. Do you feel like you have the guys in the room right now who could maybe do that more? I guess what are some of the pros and cons of doing that as often as they used to do it here?
Well, we do stuff based on game plan, and the most important part for us is winning. We want to win. So we move it around. We do stuff based on situations. So we give guys a lot more leeway on things. Sometimes we do stuff more on certain sides than others. So it's a different defense. It's different than it was there. We just try to make sure it fits the structure of stuff we do here. But we got to do both. Guys got to be up. We got to play good in press coverage. We have to be well and off. So it's all situation and all game plan based, and it all based on, on the structure of the game.
You guys got to a point last year where you guys were rotating three guys. Do you feel like you're confident that you have three guys that you can rotate? Could that get to four by the time you guys start playing? Or how many guys do you think you have that?
We got to let it play out a little bit. We start figuring that stuff out as we get going in the season. You never know how things turn out with guys. So I just let the work and the tape and the practice speak for itself, and then you earn that. You earn that part of it. But yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that we can have a lot of depth, that we can have a lot of continuity and play guys. That's the goal. But that usually takes care of itself on practice.
Going back to Lorenzo, does he have the versatility to do some of the same things Jordan did last year, sliding back into deep coverages, doing some safety stuff to free up Caleb Downs, maybe?
Yeah, we just try to see, all depends on how we want to use things. You know what I mean? We just try to go through and make those decisions on a week-to-week basis. We cross-train a lot of guys just so that we're ready for things, but how we go about and operate it, we don't know yet, because it's all situational. It's all based on who we feel is the best matchup with things. So, we kind of leave that up to a game-to-game basis.
Well, I know that you guys are really pleased with what Bryce did in the spring. What did you see about him throughout the first couple weeks of training camp that make you think that maybe he could have a role against Texas?
Well, Bryce has been working. He's been getting better. Obviously he can run. He's been playing inside. He's playing outside. So we just trying to see. What we try to go through training camp doing is get a feel of what guys do best. And now you get a chance to go through live contact, hard practices, hard scrimmages, and eval, that type of stuff. So we move him around to see. He's done a great job. He's taken a big step forward. We're looking forward to him to continue to grow, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
Well, he's only, obviously, you got here in the summer, but what have been your initial impressions of Jordan Woods, and do you feel like you're comfortable leaving him on the outside as you guys continue to develop him?
Well, he is in a different situation a little bit. When you first get here, it take you a while to catch up. Guys have been here 6 months and already been working. So we'll have to get a better feel for that once we get, midway through the season, so you can get acclimated and get through the off-season program, get used to the training, get the months under your belt, and then we'll have a better assessment of that, a few months from now.
Is Aaron ready to take another step and get some more playing time than he had?
Well, he's growing. Like I say, everybody's growing, like I said. And then, for his PT, that's all on a week-to-week basis. Guys just keep growing. We don't know any of that stuff yet. You know what I mean? Like, we still kind of training camp mode a little bit as we going, you know what I mean? And by next week, we'll start trying to narrow stuff down. But you know how we do it here. Everybody competes. Every day is an open forum to compete for stuff. We try to keep that edge. We try to keep that uncertainty with stuff. So we'll just try to let that all play out with all the guys, you know what I mean, and see what best fits for when we need dudes.
How has Aaron's camp been so far?
It's been good. It's been good. He's been competing. He's growing. And that's what all the guys that's doing that. You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot of young guys. So every day is a new day for us, learning what to do. We throw a lot of stuff at them. So we just have to keep, we're in a continual eval situation with everybody.
How have you seen Julian say the tactic corners?
He can throw the ball. You know what I mean? So, throw the whole route tree. He can throw the whole route tree. So we get the good work at the quick game, intermediate, shoot it up top. You know what I mean? So all those things, like, we need to see all that. You know what I mean? So we just try to eval that, we're going to play different teams throughout the season that's going to throw a lot at us. So the more we see now, the more help us grow. And we all need to see it because we need to still keep gaining experience in that area.
You're seeing enough from Julian to get what you need.
Yeah, he can spin the ball. He has a strong arm. He can throw the ball. He can make all the throws. So we're getting good work with it.
With a guy like Devin, you never want to try to tell someone to stifle their own expectations, but obviously ton of hype for him coming in when he got here in January. A lot of talk all spring. Where have you been able, or what has been the focus with him in training camp as far as getting him ready to play, but also understanding you're a freshman and the expectations might be different than you thought?
Work hard, focus on the details, learn the game. When you get in the game, there's a lot of stuff thrown at you. So we always focus on technique, fundamentals, understanding the game, doing the little things right. So that's the only thing I focus on right now. Like I said, we're still a young group, so I like to make sure I emphasize that. And that's my only focus with them right now. And that's with all the young guys, you know what I mean? We have to make sure we're good at fundamental football. So that's the main emphasis right now, getting better every day at the little things.
What were the conversations like with you and Davidson when he was thinking about whether to go pro or come back? And what do you remember about that time period, trying to make that decision?
No, it just, it was short as we talked about it, you know what I mean? Like, he thought about it, but, at the best interest, you need to come back, keep growing, keep learning, keep putting your foot forward because the extra year helps you. You know what I mean? So that part he understands. You want to maximize your ability. You want to maximize your stuff. So this year, hopefully he'll keep putting his foot on the gas with it and continue to grow, and it'll be a great decision for him.
Where do you think he can maximize the most this year?
Yeah, just keep top of the route. Keeping his pad level down. He's a tall corner. Being able to transition out of breaks, top of the route finishes, and all those things. He's ultra competitive. So all those little details we work on so he can maximize, point of attack plays.
Tim, you've known Caleb for a long time. How has the way you talk about the game changed with him over the last, since he got here?
Oh, well, he has an elite mind. You know what I mean? So you can talk like a coach to him because he understands everything. You know, he's the guy that allows us to see the game through a different view from players because he can move the chess pieces around. You know, and he's continuing to grow. He's hungry to keep learning. That's the great thing about him. As smart as he is, he's a student of the game. He's always about absorbing information and getting more knowledge, so he puts a lot of time in it. And he doesn't rely on that. He wants to always create a mental advantage of knowing everything about the defense.
How is Coach Patricia kind of meshed with him running around and sort of had a lot of things kind of way of being successful last year?
It's been great. Like I said, I worked with Coach P for a while, so I've been knowing him for a long time. He's a great person, understands the game well, you know, and he knows the back end. You know what I mean? So it's meshing well, man. You know, so we're excited about it, and he lets us communicate with him and the stuff we like. So it's great. It's been nothing but a big upside for that for us.
To this point, how many guys in the secondary do you think have earned the right to play from the get-go?
I don't know, man. Like I have to wait and see on that. Like it's every day. You know what I mean? Like when you're competing every day. You earn the right every day. You know what I mean? You can do stuff for a long period of time, and then the 3 or 4 days you don't do it. Have you really earned it? So it's about a consistency that we're trying to create here. You know what I mean? So that's why we kind of keep it as we competition and we open. That's kind of how we go about it.
Y'all ever consult Caleb on hey, what do you think? I mean, what did you see here? What do you think? I mean, in terms of not necessarily a quasi-coach, but he does seem to have an awareness of what's going on in front of him as the plays going on. Do y'all have a little higher level conversations, I guess, with him from the standpoint of input?
Well, he's always have good thoughts. You know what I mean? He understands the game. You know what I mean? So, you know, the players play the game. We give them the blueprint, but they play the game. You know, so if it's things that he see or he's comfortable with on the field, you know, we have those discussions. You know what I mean? So he understands it. So sometimes when you're on the field, you may have a feel for certain things that's easier for you or more comfortable for you, and we'll talk about those things when they come up.
Tim, from your point of view, what have you seen from Jalen in the league that make you think that they can really help this team?
Very smart. You know, they process the game well. You know, they work hard. They're great young men. They compete. You know, and they handling the information. You know, and so that's the thing that they do well. You know, we look for guys who can process the game back there. You know, and they understand it. They work at it. They're good communicators, and it's important to them. So that's the big step, and then they'll keep growing and getting better as they keep getting experience.
How is managing the room now when you've gotten a lot more capable?
No, it's the same because you just have to grow about it every day, man. You know, every day is a work day, is a competitive day, and then you earn that by doing putting your foot forward every day, putting that time in. It's good to have young talent, but you know we have to keep growing with experience, and you get that by putting that work in, and then you earn that as we go.
The conversations in terms of Caleb being like a coach, when in your time in the NFL and college, when do those conversations typically? When is it normal for players to have those conversations?
Well, he's special and elite at that part. You know, you don't find too many college guys like him. You know, he's different when it comes to that. He has an elite mind. He understands the game at a high level. He can process things very fast. So, you know, he's next level when it comes to that stuff. You know, he has definitely an NFL mindset.
But, like in the NFL, like at what point are those conversations happening with the players?
Well, you know, by the time you get some of those dudes, because you have some vets in there. You know what I mean? You got guys that, you know, in their third or fourth year, they starting to understand the game. So you have those conversations. Like I said, his mind level is above and beyond. So usually when you get to your third year in the league is when you start having some of those things.
So you think he's like a third-year NFL veteran?
Yeah, when it comes to the mind, he's elite with his thinking. You know what I mean? But he works at it. He's passionate about it. He works at it, and he's detailed, and he puts the time in.
I have one non-football question, if that's fine. I out of all the raps and freestyles you performed for the team, do you have a favorite bar you've written?
No, I just do it from the heart to keep them motivated, inspired, and exciting. You know, so nothing in particular. I just try to use that poetic stuff to keep them motivated, and usually I try to have a positive message in that I give them, something that they can hold on to. It grabs their attention a little bit, but the most important thing for me is having a message about life, about faith, about work ethic, about God, any of those things that they can hold on to keep making them successful and great young men.
Did that work for you as a player? I mean, did you meet somebody along the way who like maybe had a message every now and then that just kind of hung in your brain and hit the point?
No, I didn't have anybody that did that. No, yeah, well, I didn't have anybody that did that for me. But I just know that, you know, that rhythmic style relates to young men. They like it. It's fun for them. So I use it to spread a positive message to them.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate you.